you might want to brace yourself on what's going to hit the market right now. How this is really going to affect us across the board. This might hit Florida a little bit harder.
One of the big key things for you to note is that tariffs can cool down investors' confidence and also increase prices.
Forewarning, this video is not designed to scare you. This video is designed to give you information so you can make a cognitive decision when you're actually looking into these properties, so you make the right decision for you. The reason why I'm making this video is sometimes we neglect to see what's coming, and because we're such in the mix or we're excited about what's to come, I want you guys to see the full picture. Full disclaimer, this is just based on my own research, is what I've seen, but this is not to scare you guys, okay? Let's get into the video. Hey, if you're a real estate investor like myself, you might want to brace yourself on what's going to hit the market right now with the tariffs that's taking place. You might not be paying attention closely, but you need to pay close attention to what's happening right now with these policies. So I've been watching this stuff very closely, make sure I give you guys some information of how this is really going to affect us across the board. Now, particularly in Florida, there might be some major impacts, but this will definitely hit our bottom line. In this video, I'm going to go over a few things that you need to pay attention to that's really going to make a big impact for you if you want to invest in the future, if these things don't get handled right away, and how it's going to flow to the market for you guys as you continue to do your fix and flips or build houses from the ground up. Here are three things that you're definitely going to feel the impact. It's definitely going to do some impact on some supply chain and the cost of products and the delays of things, how they may come in because of import fees and a whole bunch of slew of other things. This might hit Florida a little bit harder because of supplies, because we're a growth area here in Florida. So I want you to pay close attention if you're going to invest in Florida right now and things particularly related to the tariffs. If you're not familiar with what a tariff is already, you should be paying close attention. This is going to be taxes on imported products. For instance, right now, if you're importing lumber, you're importing steel, you're importing appliances, anything that you're importing to basically factor into renovations, to factor into fix and flips, if you're doing BRRRR, all these things will have an increased cost. So don't think there's not going to be an immediate effect. This immediate effect won't take place instantly right now, but you will feel the impact weeks to come, because as these things start coming down the pipeline, you're going to see a fluctuation in prices. You're going to say, hey, why do I pay for this price, but now I'm paying this much? So if you're looking to flip properties, you might want to pay close attention to what your renovation costs are going to be. I mean, you might want to factor even on the baseline what that's going to do, because if prices go up on just appliances or just lumber or just steel, whatever the case may be, and bringing some of these materials in, how much more do you think the person who's installing it is going to do as far as increasing the price? They're going to increase their labor price too, because everything for them is going to increase. So if I'm a contractor, I'm doing your roof, I'm doing whatever, and my grocery bill is just going through the roof, I'm going to increase my price. It's not just on the imported stuff. It's just basically on anything else that has to do even related to your contractors too. So you'll be very mindful and very careful about this as you're going into the fix and flip right now in this current market. Some of you may think that it's not important, but it is extremely important. Now, how does this really specifically impact Florida? Florida is a high growth area in real estate. Florida has been experiencing a boom for years now. So what does that do for you guys who want to invest in Florida? Think about it. If a new construction builder is building products, building houses, and they don't have the products for these houses, what does that do? That slows down the supply chain. So the demand that we may have for homes is going to slow down. Think about COVID all over again, how we had delays in products. But this is not just going to be delays in products. It's going to be negotiations about prices. There's a lot of little small integral parts of this that will impact you. Since you're in Florida, if you're investing in Florida, you might want to keep a look at that, because what does that do for you? That slows down your whole bottom line. That means builders may not want to build right now. They may slow down building altogether. They might think that, hey, because I'm going to have all these supply chain issues, let me wait it out to see what actually takes place with these tariffs. Because if my price is not very predictable and it's unpredictable, because if it increases by 30%, the case may be, I don't want to always pass that down to the consumer. What does that do? The consumer now doesn't want to pay extra for the house, so they may want to take a moment to not even buy at the current market. Now, I'm not saying this is going to take place completely, but this does have an impact because the consumer is the one that ends up paying for it. Because if I get a tariff for 30% on one product, as a business owner, I'm going to pass it to the consumer. The consumer ends up the one paying the price. So there might be consumers like, I don't want to pay this. I could have bought this house 3 months ago for a lesser price. So a lot of people are playing a waiting game. And does that really impact you? Yes, it does, because the waiting game slows down the market. So you want to be very mindful of this. I would say right now in Florida itself, because it's very, very populated, everybody wants to be in Florida, you might want to be very careful on how you make your investments right now. So let's take things even further. In 2023, there was a 25% tariff on Chinese steel that was coming into the US. Now, this had a significant impact on what was taking place in the market. In this market, what happened was exactly to this. It increased the price of building about 3 to 7%. It added about an extra $30,000 to a single family home that was being built just because of that 25% tariff increase. So imagine this is happening on one item of a home. Now imagine that happening on multiple items that builds a home. What does that do to you? So you really want to be very mindful of that. This is stats that came from the National Builders Association that build these homes just on this information itself. Now let's talk about delays in supply chain. When you're thinking about supply chain, you're probably not thinking about your electrical material that's coming in or being imported from somewhere else. When you start breaking this thing down seriously, you start really breaking this down, dissecting it, think about the whole supply chain. Think about your windows. If your windows are being imported, think about your AC, electrical components, wire, ceiling fans. Think about all these things that go into place, and to actually building or flipping a house with the supply chain, this could drastically impact your pricing on this. So you want to be very mindful going into this new quarter of Q2 in 2025 to make sure that you're being very methodical about what you do, how you do it, how you go about structuring yourself, because this can have a significant impact on you. So don't think that, oh, because right now everything is good, that it won't change. These things will take into effect because your electrical may come from a different country. The wire itself, you may have ceiling fans come from a different country. Your AC unit might come from, like, all these different things. Even your synthetic alignment for your roofing, all these things is imported. A lot of this stuff is imported. So when you think about this, not a lot of these products are being made in the US, and that's probably why they want to bring all these tariffs to equal the playing field. But just think about all the things that are not brought into the US. They're not made here. Be very mindful of that because all these little nuances add to your bottom line. Let's get into the hard money part, okay? This is the part that may really impact you significantly. If we get into a pickle where stuff is being imported, it's taking a longer time to be imported, and we have supply chain issues or even delays, or even we can't get the supplies at all, imagine you're in the midst of fixing a project and you have a hard money loan. This could significantly impact your holding costs. It could impact you holding that property for longer. So if you estimate you might pay taxes for 6 months and you hold the property for 12 months, you just paid more in taxes. If you projected that you're going to hold the property for 6, by the time you bought it, fixed and flipped it, and then now you're holding it for 12 months because you don't have certain supplies to finish it, or you're waiting on a particular item, this can have a significant impact on you. Even those who are building, there's a reason why I see a lot of builders. Now, I don't want to scare you guys, but I'm just telling you what can take place and what cannot take place as well. Like, this could really impact you if you're not being careful. So for me right now, certain things I'm just not doing because it just may not make sense right now because I don't know what's going to take place. So that also creates another level of hysteria in the market because investors are cooling off because they don't want to take that chance. They don't want to take that risk. So they'd rather wait, see what happens before they jump in the game again. So this could have an impact on you currently if you're doing hard money loan. It can have an impact on you right now too as well if you're trying to invest, but you're kind of afraid because you don't know what might take place. So that can cool off things and increase prices across the board. Now I say I'm going to do that 100%, but if a deal comes along the way, I'm looking at deals more carefully because if I have to hold things a little bit longer, I got to be mindful of my costs because my bottom line is my bottom line. And if I can't, take care of my bottom line, then what am I in business for? I need to make sure I make money. Think about that as well as these things take place.
One of the big key things for you to note is that tariffs can cool down investors' confidence and also increase prices. How does that take place? When supplies are tightened and cost goes up, fewer investors can go into the market to actually flip or renovate or even build houses. You might say, why is that? Because look, their confidence is shortened. They don't want to get into this market, or they might be a little bit too afraid because if the cost goes up and supplies tighten, what can they really do? They might just want to wait aside. Also, think about this. When prices go up, what typically happens? That means you have a reduction of what's available to buy. So whenever you have a decrease in affordability of housing and you can't get housing and you have a shortage of housing, prices go up because those who can afford to buy a house want to buy a house. Some people, the tariffs will impact them, and some people it won't truly 100% impact them. But the affordability of housing will be changed because the cost goes up. A lot of people will be cut out. They can't afford to buy these properties. So sometimes they can have two effects. It can make a lot of houses being built sit on the market because people can afford to buy it in this particular price point, or people are going to buy them and hold on to them because they can buy them, because you can't buy it right now. This could be something that takes 6 months, 12 months, or 24 months. We have no particular idea. What I'm saying is when there's a shortage, this does have an impact. And think about it, in Florida, we already have a booming market already. What does this do to us? It slows down the market for us in Florida. When it slows down the market, it has a bigger impact on us because the market is booming and now it's not accelerating as fast as it needs to. It's a slowdown. That slowdown has a big impact. And if people are not investing, like investors are not investing because the cost is up and supplies are tightened, like what does that do to us? All I'm saying is that you got to be mindful, and people want to make sure you're investing. Investing is good right now. I'm not saying it's bad, but you can still invest. Be cautious of how you're investing right now.
Look, tariffs equal higher costs, longer timelines of materials, and higher price points on certain things that may come. Now, if you're a Florida investor or you investor in general, you got to be more strategic and making sure you're preparing for this, particularly if you're doing fix and flips or you're building properties. Now, this is not to scare you. It's just to tell you to just to prepare. Don't be naive, guys, and think that this will not impact you. This will impact everyone, down to your materials, to labor costs, and a lot of other things. If you're seeing anything in the market right now where you're seeing price increases, please let me know. Because if you add tariffs and all these deportations, you guys should be seeing something. So comment below, let me know what you guys are seeing in this video. If you like this video, you found value, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. This would mean a great deal to me. I want to continue producing content like this for real estate investors new and ones that are seasoned. Sometimes when I do these videos, it helps me too as well to make sure I have a reframe mindset of what's to come and what to prepare for. So thank you guys for watching this video. Looking forward to seeing you guys either in person at some point or just funding your deals. If you guys just want to chat, there's a link below. You can do a discovery call, 15 minutes, pick my brain, whatever you desire to do, and we can get the ball rolling on your investment journey.
Turning dreams into deeds is the firm's creed. Flip a house, fix it up, every step we lead. Construction on point, profits we exceed. Full circle's the name, in this game we succeed.